We live in an age of increasing division, conflict, and polarization in our public life. But for over 65 years, the Wisconsin Council of Churches has served as a unique expression of unity and common purpose, mobilizing church leaders and grassroots Christians across denominational lines.
When we connect, I think we have a better voice, a stronger voice.
Throughout our congregations, communities, and state, we serve the mission of Jesus Christ. That mission continues to energize the work of the Council, to serve the most vulnerable, to speak to issues of justice, peace, the care of God's creation, and to train pastors and laity ecumenically for a new generation of Christian leadership.
What the Wisconsin Council of Churches does is helps to build these networks of relationships.
When the Council was formed in the 1940s, one of its signature programs was a series of educational conferences for pastors and lay leaders. It was often held in partnership with UW-Madison. Nearly 1,000 church leaders would gather to hear from Bible scholars and seminary teachers. It was the only time in church life where folks would come together across denominational lines for training and fellowship. That work continues today.
Being involved with the Council of Churches helps you see how much more you can grow.
Every summer, the Washington Island Forum brings more than 200 pastors and their families together at the tip of Door County for a week of learning and spiritual renewal with top-tier speakers.
We have found that with that diversity of speakers and topics that it has been enriching to us, I think, on things that we might not have chosen to hear about. However, it's always come back with something that I can incorporate into my ministry and share with people, and that's been wonderful.
Our kid would tell you that it's one of his 2 favorite places on earth.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like just continuing it. It feels like retreat often more than continuing it to me. It really enriches all of our ministries, I think, to have that broader spectrum.
We are marching in the light of God.
Representing the collective voice of its member churches, the Council educates and mobilizes grassroots Christians to witness to their faith in the public square.
This is how democracy is supposed to work. This is how people are supposed to hear our voices.
The biennial People of Faith United for Justice Advocacy Day in Madison brings together hundreds of Christians from around the state. They discuss issues of concern to the religious community and express their views with lawmakers at the state capitol.
To have a day where there are hundreds of us getting together and to have this be the impetus to go in and say, here's what my faith leads me to express, I think that gets to be a really good motivator and connection for people in my congregation.
It's great we have this beautiful place for folks to come and to offer worship and thanks and praise and to love God, but to love neighbor, you got to get outside the box. There's a whole lot in the New Testament about Jesus spending time with people who were fishermen and casting nets and teaching people to fish for people. And I think you can do that if you drop your line in. But if you have a net, the net is bigger than that single line. And Wisconsin Council of Churches helps us connect with each other. And so our ministry is bigger.
When protests emerged at the state capitol in 2011, the religious leaders of our state called upon Wisconsin's religious community to lead a season of civility. More than 100 congregations provided safe space and resources for people of differing political perspectives to talk about their differences. The goal was to build up the community, not divide it.
Instead of walking away or running away from the person who disagrees with me, I want to walk or even run toward them and say, let's talk, let's have a conversation.
I think they've made a great start, and it's not a season. You know, this is a piece of work that's going to go on. It's morally worthy, it's hard, challenging, and we go at it with humble curiosity. I have come to love the Wisconsin Council of Churches because they don't just preach, but they practice.
The Wisconsin Council of Churches, for over 6 decades, has been a living symbol of unity and common purpose, bringing people together to equip a new generation of church leaders.
Let's go this way, Tom.
Thank you, Judy.
Giving voice to the values of our faith in the public square, values of justice, peace, and the care of God's creation, and living out our unity in ways that help heal the divisions in our society right now. Thank you for your generous support of the Wisconsin Council of Churches and for your partnership in our mission.